We're often asked the question, what is organization development? And along with the CEO, OD consultants operate from a unique perspective in that they have an organization-wide lens. And it's from this lens that they're able to design solutions and experiences that impact both ROI as well as an organization's effectiveness and its health. We design for impact, sustainability, and growth. So let me talk about those three. It could be to achieve value pre or post merger integration, or we're designing to optimize talent when critical skill sets are needed to achieve a business's growth strategy. It could be to reduce asymmetries between what an organization expresses itself to be on the outside and what we all know actually happens on the inside. So they could be designing for cultural impact. They design for sustainability. And, organizations are just like any other system, and that the components need to fit together for optimal performance. So the OD consultant aligns strategy, structure, process, talent, rewards, and metrics to produce the capability needed for results. Third, the OD consultant designs for growth, and growth takes adaptability and change and transformation. The OD consultant is uniquely qualified to navigate these types of disruptive contexts and produce innovation and reception versus resistance. The OD network has been codifying for the last 2 years what superior performance looks like as an organization development consultant. And we've had input from leaders across the world. We'd like to introduce to you the Global OD Practice Framework and invite you into the conversation.
Who I work with, and we've shown them the highlights from the practice framework, and the positive response has been overwhelming so far. People really like the simplicity of it, they like how it feels very contemporary, and they like the language that's being used to describe us as a profession in ways that maybe haven't been seen before. So there's a real sense of optimism that this is something that's going to be helpful for us to develop as a profession and to build our capability, demonstrate our impact, and work at a different level than we have before.
Not only is it a discrete activity that we do, it's very much integrated with everything else. And depending upon what's going on at any of the three levels, whether it's individual, whether it's at the group or the team, or whether it's at the systems level, there may be times when you have to adjust what you're doing because of where the organization happens to be at any of those three levels. So one of the things I know when I've gone is I've developed more experience, and I've started and initiated or leading major change initiatives, is I'm always conscious of all three of those levels are playing out at the same time, and thinking about them very strategically, very intentionally.
About the system. Number 2 is about values. Number 3 is about proven theory. Number 4, it's about the interaction of them all. And number 5, it's about reality and results. When you have all those integrated, you're going to get the shift.
The most important problem around culture for the future is that not only do all organizations have corporate overall cultures, but in every large organization there will be many, many subcultures which are in varying degrees of alignment and conflict with each other. The most critical role, I think, for OD in the future will be to help leaders figure out how to get their various subcultures into alignment so that they can work toward the overall corporate purpose.
And the reason I love design is because it's the place where we get to use our expertise in a couple different ways in which we design structures and processes that help people through change. That's one piece of design. Another piece of design is we work inside organizations trying to improve their operating processes and also trying to improve their entire organization design. So you can use design in all three of those ways.
We need to start looking at what's available to us to help us with all this big data. There's plenty of companies out there right now building programs for your marketing, for your sales, that are going to access outside data as well as your data to create predictive models, to create consumer modeling behavior, both in predicting sales and sales opportunities. Those systems you can look for now to bring them in-house to help your staff and also start building the skill sets that you need.
I'm known as like a technology savvy in my program, but I think myself I'm not. I'm kind of of course I like kind of the new trend or new technology. However, I'm not majoring of the computer science or engineering. I just like that with that technology, what I can do, that is my interest. Same way, OD practitioner, we have to have, first of all, we have to get rid of some kind of some anxiety of the technologies. Rather than that, have a more focus and interest in with that technology, what I can do. Imagine that.
When I think of ROI on org effectiveness, and some of the things that we've been doing is we've really been trying to focus on what are the business drivers for our client as we contract and as we understand what the work is needed, and then really connect our work and the outcomes that we're driving to those business drivers.
I find that clients can tell you what value they got if you ask them. And if they're looking for more than what they feel like you're providing, you can tune your intervention in a way, but you always have to bear in mind what is the ultimate outcome that you're going for. The process is in service of an outcome.
Another piece for me about building trust is by asking, I literally ask my clients, do I have their permission to tell the truth? And it probably seems like a weird question, but I ask it because many times in business, we uncover things that business leaders were not aware of. That happens all the time. And we have to be very sensitive to a leader's ability and their desire to improve, to make an organization better, to engage the people and the leaders that they work and partner with. And so I respect and I honor that. I treat it as a true relationship. And any really good relationship is based upon communication, but the communication is founded on trust.
The client, by bringing out your shiny baubles and all the tools that are in your toolkit, their eyes are going to glaze over. If you're lucky, they'll say thank you very much, and they'll shut down the conversation. Instead, what I like to go to is, what is it that's keeping you up at night? How is it that you see that your organization could be more effective? What is the vision for that? And maybe not even using that word, but what legacy do you want to leave? And then talking to them about how to build to that legacy.
Organizations, people want to just go to speed. Let's do it faster, but I don't know you. So I think we have to be even more intentional, which is why OD is so important, to build those interactions, to build that trust so we have the foundation for speed.
Credibility is a very interesting competency for the single reason that credibility is something granted by other people. It is in the mind of or an eye of the beholder. It is not something you develop. It is something other people bestow upon you. Credibility. So can we believe that you know what you are talking about? How do we know that you know what you are talking about, and perhaps know better than other people what you are talking about? And so it's part and parcel of influence. We don't want to listen to people whose views we don't trust.
That you need to be global. You need to travel a lot, know another cultures, have an cultural intelligence, of course, manage diversity in generations. For instance, we have a lot of millennials here working in companies. And of course, we have baby boomers, we have X, and of course now the millennials. They think very different from the other generation.
I think starting from a framework that says I don't know it all and that I have to be a learner, and no matter how much I think I know about a culture or a country, there's more to learn. And if I can let people that I'm partnering with know that I am a learner, that I will do my best, that I will experiment and try to be smart and be on a constant learning curve, and I'm going to need the partnership. Nobody was born knowing all these things about different cultures.
Your job is to simplify, not complexify. And most consultants come in with complex models and matrices, and they think the longer they're there, the better it is. I know that the old saw that a consultant is someone who comes in to study a problem and then remains to be part of it is unfortunately too true. So your idea is to get in and out quickly. And to do that, of course, you're crazy. You're absolutely an amateur if you're charging by a time unit. And so if you're charging by an hour or a day or a person or a classroom, that's ridiculous. What you do is you charge by value, because the faster you create a solution for a client, the better off you are. The one final point here is that in this day and age, OD consulting is somewhat different, because it used to be about helping to solve problems. Today, companies are pretty darn good at solving their own problems. Today, it's about raising the bar and creating new standards of performance.
Emotional intelligence also helps us manage professional relationships better, gives us the social and political sensitivity to perceive really diverse stakeholder needs, both within and outside of an organization. Most importantly, however, emotional intelligence, I think, gives practitioners the empathy and understanding they need to be able to inspire and influence and lead.
In our context, which is that everyone should have a safe space to stay sharp. And I think to be able to use this framework as an opportunity to sharpen your instrumentality, to give yourself that safety to compare and talk about yourself and your practice is a really good thing.
It's comprehensive. And what I mean by comprehensive is that it includes all the boundaried field that we have. And Warner Burke did that. That's what he's famous for. You've touched every base of the past and the future and the now. Wonderful.